Hitting sixth and catching, number 10, Aiden Gamble. Landis. Playing center field, number 23, Maddox Denny. Batting ninth, playing left field, number 2, Aiden Sauer. Hitting 10th, extra hitter, number 6, Aiden Sampson. Hitting 11th, extra hitter, number 48, Ethan Daly. Plymouth is coached by Jason Feast, Jordan Sauer, Clint Denny, and Ryan Wolf. Now for the home team, the Rochester Zebras. Leading off, playing left field, number 2, Wade Bowers. Hitting second, playing second base, number 23, Brady Coleman. Hitting third, playing shortstop, number 11, Zach Parks. Batting cleanup, playing third base, number 7, Carson Pollard. Hitting fifth and pitching, number 10, Connor.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to the Rochester Youth League field where we've got the game 15. It's the Town and Country.
Hitting seventh, playing first base, number 18, Callan Fairweather. Hitting eighth, playing right field, number 3, Ashton Musselman. Hitting ninth and catching, number 40, Ashton Eaton. 10th, the extra hitter, number 20, Brady Gamble. Rochester has 2 substitutes, number 8, Ethan Jackson, number 79, Andre Meiser. Rochester is coached by Phil Bowers, Sean Spence, and David Musselman. Please stand, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Good luck to both teams. I'd also like to announce the umpires for tonight's game. Working the plate, Matt Meiser, and in the field, TJ Smith. We'll start second inning. You need to work it tonight. Tell them it's the last one.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Rochester Youth League Field, where tonight we have the District 1 10U Championships. Steve Stricker here with Dakota Hayden, and we're going to bring you game number 1. And it's going to be Plymouth taking on Rochester. Plymouth coming out of the losers bracket, so they are 4-1 on the tournament. They have to win 2 here tonight if they want to win this tournament. Rochester comes in with a 3-0 record, so all they have to do is win 1, and they are the 10U tournament champions. So we're getting set to go. Plymouth is the visitor on the scoreboard tonight. So let's go through the lineups. It's going to start off with the shortstop wearing number 28, Nick Manzuk. Second baseman batting second, number 15, Drake Feast. Pitcher batting third, number 44, Avery Rivera. First baseman batting cleanup, number 14, Parker Bagley. Third baseman batting fifth, number 21, Grady Metzger. The catcher batting sixth, wearing number 10, Aiden Landis. Right fielder batting number 7th, wearing number 27, Ben Shively. Center fielder batting 8th, wearing number 23, Maddox Denny. Left fielder batting number 9, wearing number 2, Aiden Sauer. Extra hitter batting 10th, number 6, Aiden Sampson. And the 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Feast. Evens the count at 2-2. One out, nobody. Out of play over to the third base side. Count remains at 2-2. 2-2 pitch, low and outside. He makes the count full at 3-2 now for Feast. Getting a little instruction over there from the coach. And Feast steps back into the batter's box for the payoff pitch. Hits one down to short, fielded. Throw over to first, not in time, so Feast on for Plymouth. Single for Feast. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, number 44, Avery Rivera.
Brings up the pitcher, number 44, Avery Rivera.
Got one on, one out here in the top of the first. Rivera hits a blooper over to first, and the first baseman's going to get that unassisted. Moving Feast over to second now with 2 outs. Bringing up Parker Bagley, the first baseman.
Rivera grounds out to the first baseman. Feast advances to second. 2 outs. Brings up the batter, number 14, Parker Bagley.
Bagley takes ball 1 low in the dirt. Drake Feast on second with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Connor Dunphy working on the mound for Rochester. And the shot just foul down the third base line. It's going to be strike 1 on Bagley. Count even now at 1-1 with 2 outs. That ball in the dirt. Feast is going to take third on the pass ball.
Feast to third on a wild pitch.
Bagley stares in at a 2-1 count now from Dunphy. Swing and a miss, evens the count now at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on third here for Plymouth in the top of the first. Takes ball 3 high and inside. Count goes full now for Parker Bagley. Payoff pitch now with 2 outs. Got the inside corner for strike 3, and that's going to retire the side for the inning for Plymouth. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors in 1/2 inning of play. Rochester is going to come up here in the bottom of the first. It's going to be Wade Powers, Brady Coleman, and Zach Parks. We're going to take a quick break, be back here on RTC4.com in just a moment.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout north central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com. please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here to Rochester. Just getting ready to go here. The bottom of the first inning, no score yet, 0-0. It's going to be Wade Bowers leading off, the left fielder wearing number 2 here for Rochester. He's going to be going up against the pitcher, number 44, Avery Rivera. A couple more warm-up pitches here as we get set to go. Plymouth left one man on in the top of the first. And the pitcher, Connor Dunphy for Rochester, able to get the strikeout on the 3-2 count to Parker Bagley to end the first half of the inning. Was able to do the Plymouth Bremen game yesterday, game 13, where Plymouth advanced to tonight's championship game. And they had a huge inning in the third, scoring 9 runs, retaking the lead and holding it through the rest of the game to defeat Bremen after Bremen had taken a 3-2 lead going into the bottom of the third. First time I've got to do a game here with Rochester this weekend, so excited to see how they do. They've done very well, winning 3 to get here to the championship game, including a win over Plymouth on Saturday. Our coverage of baseball here in Rochester is going to roll right over. We're going to take tomorrow off, and we're going to roll right into 12U coverage on Wednesday. That tournament is set to go from Wednesday all the way through next Monday for the championship of the 12U. We also have Libby Woodjick over at the Fulton County Fair this week. They're getting live coverage of all the shows as well as going around, and she's getting all kinds of good footage for us. So a lot of stuff going on here. We've been over here since Thursday. You guys started off?
Yeah, I think Thursday was around the first game that we had here.
Yeah, so they've been here in the 10U since Thursday. This is game number, what, 14?
Yes,
15. 15 of our coverage here of the 10U championships. All right, here we go. Wade Bowers in the right-handed batter's box for Rochester, going up against the right-handed pitching Rivera. Blooper down to third base line, and unable to make the play is the third baseman Metzger. So the leadoff hitter is on for Rochester, bringing up the second baseman, number 23, Brady Coleman. So one pitch for Rivera, one runner on, no outs. And Coleman takes ball 1 high. Wade Bowers is on first, leadoff hitter for Rochester. And strike 1 evens the count now at 1-1 to Coleman. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Bowers is going to take second. They overthrow the play. Bowers is going to move around to third. Coach Musselman sending him home. Play at the plate, and Bowers is going to be safe. For the first run of the game, Rochester takes the lead 1-0 on the error by Plymouth. Coleman now with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Takes ball 2 just a bit outside. Count goes even at 2-2 now for the second baseman. Takes ball 3 outside. Count goes full. No outs here in the bottom of the first. Rochester leads 1-0. And the payoff pitch, and it's fouled off by Coleman. Gonna do it again. And once again, payoff pitch and a swing and a miss, and the strikeout by Rivera gets the first out of the inning for Plymouth. It's going to bring up the shortstop, number 11, Zach Parks. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Parks in the right-handed batter's box. Rivera delivers the pitch. It's outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch into Parks. Big swing and a miss on an inside heater. Evens the count at 1-1. That one was high and tight that time by Rivera. Just off the outside corner, ball 2. Two and one now with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Rivera toes the rubber, sends it in. Big swing, strike 2. Evens the count at 2-2 for Parks. Two-two pitch. Now it's sent out to right center field, and it's missed by the center fielder. Parks around, going into second. He's going to keep going. He goes around to third. The play at third, and he's in under the tag for a triple. Great job there by Parks, hustling around the bases, getting all the way over to third. Shot out to center field. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 7, Carson Pollock. Pollock comes to the plate, right-handed hitting batter for Rochester. Takes ball 1 high. Parks on third, still only 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Rochester with 1 now in scoring position. Strike 1 called, evens up the count at 1-1 now for Pollock. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bottom of the first. Pollock takes strike 2, hits the inside corner. 1-2 now for the third baseman, Pollock. And fouls that one out of play off the first base line. Gonna do it again. Count remains at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to the third baseman, Pollock. And he shoots it right over to second. Great play on the popper. The line drive to second by the second baseman, Drake Feast.
1 out, runner on third brings up the pitcher, number number 10, Connor Dunphy.
It's going to bring up the pitcher, number 10, Connor Dunphy, with 2 outs and 1 on here in the bottom of the first. And he sends that one over the head of the first baseman. A nice try there by Feast. 1 runs in, and an RBI single that time for Dunphy.
Dunphy singles to right field, bringing in a run. Brings up
Drake Feast made a great attempt on that one, unable to come up with that one, and Dunphy gets the RBI, making the score 2-1, and Parker Casper, the center fielder, is up. Hits a ball to second for 6 fielder's choice, and we are out of the inning, but 2 runs come across for Rochester, and after 1, Rochester leads 2-0. We're going to come back here on RTC4.com with more coverage of the Town and Country 10U Championships.
3 hits, 1 error committed by Plymouth. After 1
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Shepherd's Chevrolet Buick in Rochester treats you like family. Shepherd's offers a wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles to fit your budget. Stop out for your test drive today, online at shepherdsrochester.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here to Rochester Youth Field, where we're getting set to go. Top of the second inning. Rochester has the 2-0 lead after 1. Great job at hitting it. 3 hits in the bottom of the first, including a big triple by Zach Parks, an RBI single by Connor Dunphy, and a good job of base running by Wade Bowers. So Rochester gets 2 on the board. Going into the bottom or the top of the second for Plymouth, it's going to be Grady Metzger, the third baseman, followed by Aiden Landis, the catcher, and the right fielder, Ben Shively. We'll see what Plymouth can do here, try to get back 1 or 2 of the runs they gave up in the bottom of the first. Connor Dunphy remains on the mound for Rochester. Grady Metzger, third base tonight, coming up. Grady was pitching the other night, did a great job on the mound for Plymouth in the game versus Northwood, or Bremen, I guess. And a little blooper over to first. And did they get it in time? Can't tell. We'll see what the call is there. They were bobbling that ball around, whether or not he got to the base before they had control of the ball, and they're going to call him safe. Don't know what you would call that. E3 is what they're going to say on that one. So Metzger reaches first on an E3. So number 10, the catcher, Aiden Landis, is going to be up with no outs and 1 on. So ball 1 to Landis. Ball 2 outside. 2-0 now to Landis. Metzger's on first for Plymouth. No outs here in the top of the second. Takes strike 1 on the inside corner. 2-1 now is the count to Landis. There's a shot over to first. Hit the runner, so the runner, Metzger, is going to be out. Unfortunate play for Plymouth.
hits the runner. 1 out, brings up the batter.
So 1 out now. Landis is on first. That's going to bring up the right fielder, number 27, Ben Shively, left-handed hitting batter now. Pass ball moves Landis over to second. 1 ball, no strikes on Shively. Another pass ball moves Landis over to third. So Landis now in scoring position. 2 balls, no strikes on Shively with 1 out here in the top of the second. There's a shot over to short. Run's gonna score. They're gonna make the play at the plate and not even close. Landis scores. Shively reaches first. So 2-1 now is your score. That's going to bring up the center fielder, number 23, Maddox Denny.
Brings up the batter, number 23, Maddox Denny.
I think that's one of those plays that Coach Musselman is talking to the team right now, that you take the out at first because the runner was already well past the point of making that play at home. So he's going to just reiterate that fact a little bit with these boys. Say, all right, we gave 1 up. let's not do that again. So Plymouth gets 1 run back. Now trail 2-1. Left-handed hitting Denny. And he's got a dribbler over to the pitcher. Pitcher bobbles it, makes the play over to first. Not in time. Runners safe, first and second. They're going to call that an E1. So Maddox Denny reaches. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Aiden Sauer, batting in the number 9 spot here for Plymouth, with 2 runners on and only 1 out here in the top of the second. Pass ball, runners are going to advance to second and third. So Sauer, 1 ball, no strikes, only 1 out. 2 runners now in scoring position for Plymouth. And we've seen the last 2 games Plymouth has played, they've had big innings. They did it against Bremen yesterday. They did it against Northwood yesterday. And the potential is there as we are in the second. Sauer takes strike 1, evens the count now at 1-1. 2 runners in scoring position. Strike 2. Sauer gets instructions from the coach at third base. And a swing on a high inside fastball and strikes out. Out number 2, that's going to bring up the extra hitter, number 6, Aiden Sampson. Rochester trying to get out of the jam. They had 2 on with 1 out. Pass ball, and the runners are going to hold. Good job by the catcher, Eaton, to get on that one quickly. Sampson takes ball 1 in the dirt. There's a shot, dribbler down to second, play over to first in time, and it retires the side. So 1 run scores on 2 hits for Plymouth, and after 1.5 innings, it's Rochester 2, Plymouth 1. We'll be back with bottom of the second. It's going to be Fervida, Musselman, and Eaton for Rochester here on RTC4.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Blue Dragon Taekwondo. Whether you want to learn self-defense, physical cross-training, or looking to compete in national tournaments, Blue Dragon Taekwondo is the area's leading martial arts authority. Online at tkdbluedragon.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here to Rochester Youth League Field, where we are going into the bottom of the second. It's game number 1 of the 10U championship. And it's Colin Fervida up first for Rochester, Musselman and Eaton to follow. Rochester scored 2 in the bottom of the first and gave up one of those runs back to Plymouth in the top of the second, leading 2-1 now as we move into the bottom of the second. First baseman Colin Fervida up to bat here for the first time this evening. And last warm-up pitch going down to second.
Number 18, Colin Fervida.
Fervida, big right-handed hitter here for Rochester. Rochester trying to see if they can get the leadoff hitter on base for the second straight inning. Going up against number 44, Avery Rivera, on the mound here for Plymouth. Ball 1 inside. One-0 pitch. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Evens the count at 1-1 for Fervida. Strike 2 on the outside corner. 1-2 now for Fervida. There's a shot over left center. That's going to get down. Fervida is going around first. He's going to go over to second. And they're going to hold him there at second. Big hit there by Fervida with the stand-up double to start the inning.
Fervida leads off with a double to left center. Brings up number 3, Ashton Musselman.
So that'll bring up the right fielder, number 3, Ashton Musselman, with nobody out and 1 on here as we go into the bottom of the second. Musselman takes ball 1 on the outside. Great job by Landis getting a hold of that one, keeping it from going to the fence. Good eye there by Musselman. Holds off of the inside heat. Ball 2, count goes to 2-0 now. Nobody out, 1 on for Rochester. And there's a shot in the left by Musselman, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Musselman rounds first, and he's going to stay there. Runners on the corner now for Rochester. Fervida's at third, and Musselman in to first with the single.
Musselman singles to left, puts runners on the corners, nobody out.
It's going to bring up the catcher, number 40, Ashton Eaton.
Number 40, Ashton Eaton.
Rochester threatening here as we are in the bottom of the second. Runners at first and third. Nobody out. Eaton getting some final instructions there from Coach Musselman. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. Rivera, the pitcher for Plymouth. They're looking bunt, pulls back. Musselman takes second. No play on the steal because they don't want to let the runner on third go home. So runners now in second and third, no outs, 1 ball, no strikes. Takes strike one. Eaton evens the count now at 1-1. Plymouth looking for the first out here in the bottom of the second. Rochester with 2 on, both now in scoring position. There's the bunt right into the middle. Run's going to attempt to score. 1 run across on the sacrifice bunt by Eaton.
Eaton sacrifices, bringing home a run. 1 out, runner on third, brings up the batter, number 20, Brady Gamble.
So with 1 out, 1 run across, the extra hitter, number 20, Braden Gamble, comes to the plate, takes strike 1 for Rochester. Rochester leads 3-1. Musselman has moved over to third. Showing bunt, and that one goes foul off the first base line. First base coach telling him to straighten the bat a little bit there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 run across. Rochester leads 3-1 here in the bottom of the second. Shot right down the first base line. First baseman touches the base, throws it home, and the runner is safe. Plating another run. Musselman gets in safely. Gamble with the RBI.
Gamble grounds out to the first baseman for the second out, bringing home the 4th waiver run. 2 outs, brings up the leadoff hitter, number 2.
So 2 runs across now in a 4-1 game. Plymouth with the lead, or Rochester with the lead. Brings up the leadoff hitter, number 2, Wade Bowers. Bowers singled on an error his first time up. And great play there by the second baseman, coming in right in behind Rivera for the catch for the 3rd out. But not before Rochester scores 2 more, and after 2, Rochester leads Plymouth 4-1. We'll be back in a moment on RTC4.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here to Rochester, where after 2, Rochester leads 4-1 over Plymouth. Coming up for Plymouth in the top of the 3rd, it's going to be Ethan Daly, Nick Manzuk, and Drake Feast. So Plymouth was able to get 1 run back in the top of the 2nd, but gives up 2 again to Rochester for the 2nd inning in a row, and find themselves with a 3-run deficit as we enter the 3rd inning. Daly's first trip to the plate here for Plymouth. Connor Dunphy remains on the mound here for Rochester as we go into the 3rd inning. Ball one outside. Takes ball two high and outside. 2-0 now the count. No outs here as we get started in the third. Takes strike one on the inside corner. Count goes to 2-1 now to Daly. Swing and a miss, evens the count now at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes on Daly. And pitch inside for ball three. Count goes full now for Daly. And the payoff pitch coming up here for Dunphy. Misses on the outside corner, issues the walk. First walk of the game issued by Connor Dunphy. Brings up the leadoff hitter, shortstop, number 28, Nick Manzuk. Manzuk struck out his first time up here for Plymouth. Strike one called on the first pitch. Count 0-1 now for Manzuk. Swing and a miss for strike two. Daly walk to lead off the inning. He stands at first base. And the strikeout for Dunphy gets Manzuk for the first out of the inning.
Brings up second baseman, number 15, Drake Feast.
That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 15, Drake Feast. Drake singled his first time up in the top of the first for Plymouth. There's a shot over center field. Good play there by the center fielder. Makes the catch. Parker Casper out in center for Rochester makes the catch on a strong hit by Feast.
Brings up the pitcher, number 44, Avery Rivera.
For the second out of the inning, bringing up Rivera, the pitcher, number 44, grounded out to first base, and he shoots it right out to center once again, and one more time. Pop fly to the center fielder. Casper makes the catch for the third out of the inning. After 2.5, no runs, no hits for Plymouth. Rochester leads 4-1. Coming up here in the bottom of the third, it's going to be the leadoff hitter Bowers, Coleman, and Parks for Rochester. You're watching RTC4.com's coverage of the 10U Town and Country Championship.
Don't hit it to him.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout North Central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank, online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here. We're getting set to go with the bottom of the third, and what an inning that was for the center fielder Parker Casper with 2 catches on 2 strong hits by Plymouth out into center field and retired the side. 3 up, 3 down for Rochester. So as we go into the bottom of the third, we're back to the top of the order. It's going to be left fielder Wade Bowers leading off. He singled in the first and scored on an error. Brady Coleman, Zach Parks will also bat here in the bottom of the third. Avery Rivera remains on the mound here in the third for Plymouth. Did Coleman get out in the last inning and I missed it? Alrighty, I missed one last inning, so Bowers actually was the last out. So it's actually going to be Coleman, Parks, and Pollock. Trying to give Bowers an extra at-bat here. To no avail, so it's going to be Brady Coleman, who struck out his first time up, going against the pitcher Avery Rivera. Coleman takes strike one on a nice pitch on the outside corner. Takes ball one inside. Count goes even at 1-1. Just getting going here in the bottom of the third. No outs. 1 ball, 1 strike to the second baseman, Brady Coleman. There is a swing and a foul ball for strike 2. Didn't jiggle the camera too bad, I guess.
No, we're still good. We're still good.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Takes ball 2 in the dirt. Count goes to 2-2. The second baseman, Coleman. Just misses on the outside corner, bringing up a full count now. Coleman took the count full his first time up before taking the strikeout. The payoff pitch now here for Avery. Gets him again on the corner, strike 3.
Brings up number 11, Zach Parks.
So Coleman strikes out for the second time, bringing up the shortstop, number 11, Zach Parks, with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Parks takes ball 1 outside. Parks had a big triple to center field his first time up in the bottom of the first. Strong looking right-handed hitter here for Rochester. And he fouls that one back behind the fence, out of play. And you get a free slushy if you take a ball back. I am going after the next one. Yeah, we could have put Dakota down there on by his feet and got that one.
Oh yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gets strike 2 on the outside corner. Yeah, I didn't realize the ball goes foul. You take it back to the concession stand, they give you a free slushy. So if you see one go foul here in a second and you don't hear me for a minute, you know where I'm at.
It's a good way to get all those balls back that go
Oh,
over.
About caught that one right there. Fouls it back off the fence right at our eyes. Count remains 1-2. Ball 2 outside. Count evens up at 2-2 now for Parks. Big right-handed pitcher Rivera on the mound for Plymouth. Throwing a pretty good game so far. There's a shot right past the second baseman. That's going to be trouble all the way to the fence in between center and right. And he's going to stand up at second with a double. So Parks gets the Rochester team started here in the bottom of the third, and that's going to bring up number 7, Carson Pollock. Pollock lined out to the second baseman his first time up. Now he's going to pop it up to the second baseman on one pitch. So Pollock and the second baseman for Plymouth, Drake Feast, are getting to know each other well. And right now Feast has 2 outs for Pollock. So 2 outs now for the pitcher, number 10, Connor Dunphy. With Parks standing at second for Rochester. Dunphy takes ball 1 low. There is a bouncer off the plate, and they're calling it a fair ball. Infield single for Dunphy. Moves Parks over to third, so runners at the corner for the center fielder, Parker Casper. Casper had a big inning for Rochester on the defensive side last inning, making 2 big catches. Smart play there by Rivera. Dunphy was trying to entice him to throw it down to second. Rivera wisely held it so the runner would not score from third. The 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss there by Casper. Strike 2 with 2 outs here, runners at second and third for Rochester. Rivera trying to get himself out of a jam. Has an 0-2 count now to Casper. Casper takes ball 1 in the dirt. Good job there by the catcher for Plymouth. Aiden Landis getting a hold of that ball, not allowing the run to come in from third. There's a shot, and it's going to be caught by the second baseman for out number 3. So after 3, there's 2 hits, no runs, no errors. And after 3, Rochester leads 4-1. We're going to come back with the top of the 4th. It's going to be Bagley, Metzger, and Landis for Plymouth. You're watching RTC4.com's coverage of the Town and Country 10U Championships.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Shepherd's Chevrolet Buick in Rochester treats you like family. Shepherd's offers a wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles to fit your budget. Stop out for your test drive today, online at shepherdsrochester.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back. Here we're getting set to go. Top of the 4th inning. Plymouth is going to be coming to the plate with the first baseman, number 14, Parker Bagley. Bagley struck out his first time at the plate in the top of the 1st. It's going to be Bagley, Metzger, and Landis for Plymouth. Rochester holding on to a 4-1 lead here after 3. Rochester scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and was held scoreless with 2 on in the third. Rochester got 1 run back in the top of the second, have been held scoreless in the first and third, with 3 up, 3 down in the third. 2 huge catches in center field by Casper helped Rochester get out of the top of the third. There's a shot foul off the third base line for strike 1 on Bagley.
Bagley went after a high fastball that time, got a little early. Takes ball one in the dirt, count even at 1-1. One ball, one strike now to Bagley. Right back to Dunphy. Dunphy stops it, collects it, and throws it over to first for the putout for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 21, Grady Metzger. One out, nobody on here for Plymouth. It was a great job by Dunphy. Kept the ball, knocked it down, collected his thoughts, grabbed the ball, made the play over to first for the first out of the inning. Metzger takes strike one. Ball one low in the dirt. Count goes even now at 1-1 here for Metzger. Dunphy has a nice pace out there on the pitching mound. Doesn't take too long to deliver the pitch. And that one's going to be high and inside for ball two.
You all right, Connor? Reach out in front.
Swing and a miss for strike two. Count goes even now at 2-2 for Metzger. 2-2 pitch on its way. There's a grounder over to second. Good job there by the second baseman. Throws to first for the out. Great job by the second baseman, Coleman. That ball was hopping a little bit as it came to him, but he played that perfectly. Gets the out for the second out of the inning. Bringing up the catcher, number 10, Aiden Landis, with nobody on and 2 outs now. There's a shot. It's going to be out of play into the home dugout. Nope. Nobody gets a slushy out of that one. That one right back into the field of play. So Landis with no balls and 1 strike. Takes ball 1 low in the dirt. Count even now at 1-1. Dunphy working on the mound here for Rochester. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Ball 2 low. 2-1 now to Landis.
Reach out in front.
Landis takes ball 3, high and inside, 3-1. Dunphy's done a great job here in, there's a pop grounder right back to the pitcher, and Landis just stopped running, and the ball was bobbled there by the first baseman, but since Landis stopped, no problem there getting the 3rd out. So after 3.5, it's Rochester 4, Plymouth 1. We're going to be back with the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be Fervida, Musselman, and Eaton for Rochester.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Blue Dragon Taekwondo. Whether you want to learn self-defense, physical cross-training, or looking to compete in national tournaments, Blue Dragon Taekwondo is the area's leading martial arts authority. Online at tkdbluedragon.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
6-9-8-7.
All right, welcome back. We're getting set to go here. Bottom of the fourth inning. Rochester leading 4-1 over Plymouth. For Rochester, as we enter the bottom half of the fourth, it's going to be the first baseman, number 18, Callan Fervida.
For Plymouth, number 21, Grady Metzger.
Plymouth has changed their pitcher. They are going with the pitcher now is number 21, Grady Metzger. Metzger comes in relief of Rivera, who pitched 3 innings for Plymouth, allowing 4 runs and 7 hits. So Fervida doubled into left field his first time up in the bottom of the second as he led off the second inning. So we'll see here the Rochester team has gotten the leadoff batter on 2 out of the 3 innings. So we'll see if Fervida can make it 3 out of 4. Metzger taking his last few warm-up pitches here as we get set to go. This is the championship game of the Town and Country 10U District 1. And it's Rochester and Plymouth. Plymouth has to win this one to force a second game here this evening. If Rochester wins this one, they are the champions here for District 1. We've been here all week. This is our 15th game of coverage here of the 10U championships. We're going to take a night off tomorrow. Be back here on Wednesday as we start the 12U championships. That will run all the way through next Monday. All right, here we go. Fervida, the first up for Rochester as we start the bottom half of the fourth inning. There's a shot, knuckleball right to the shortstop. Play over to first in time for, nope. He pulled off the bag. Just came off the bag right there on the first baseman. So Fervida reaches on the E6.
Fervida reaches on an air. Brings up number 3, Ashton Musselman.
That'll bring up the right fielder, number 3, Ashton Musselman. Single to left, his first time up. Fervida is going to take second on the pass ball. No play down to the second baseman. The 1-0 pitch. Musselman showing bunt. Takes strike 1, evens the count now at 1-1. Have no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Showing bunt again. Gets the bat back, takes the ball high and inside. First ball 2. Count goes to 2-1 on Musselman. Nobody out, 1 on for Rochester here in the bottom of the fourth. Musselman takes ball 3 from Metzger. So 3-1. The 3-1 pitch by Metzger. Offers up on the bunt. Count goes full to 3-2. Catcher Ashton Eaton standing on deck for Rochester. Full count here for Metzger, the payoff pitch. And it's popped up, that's playable. And a good job there by the pitcher, Metzger, to make the out. So Mussman pops out to the pitcher, bringing up the catcher, number 40, Ashton Eaton, with 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the 4th. Eaton shows bunt for strike 1. Great rotation on the backside here on the left half of the infield. Bagley coming in, Short going over to third to cover the bag. So Plymouth has this plague diagnosed. That one misses outside, evens the count at 1-1 to Eaton. Play back at, hits the runner and goes out into right field. Fervita's going to go around third, and they're going to hold him there. So a throwing error on the catcher. And that allows Fervita to move over to third. Eaton has 2 balls and 1 strike on him. And ball 3 high to Eaton. Three and 1, got 1 runner on. Callan Fervita stands on third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. The 3-1 pitch by Metzger catches the corner for strike 2. Count goes full. So the payoff pitch here for Metzger, and it's foul off of the first base line. So we're going to do it again. Payoff pitch, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3 for the 2nd out. It's going to bring up the extra hitter, number 20, Brady Gamble. Gamble takes ball 1 low and in the dirt. Fervita on third. Fervita reached on an error and has moved over to third. There's a shot and a good play there by the shortstop to get underneath that little popper for the third out of the inning. Rochester does not get anyone across in the bottom of the 4th. We're going to go to the 5th inning with the score remaining. Rochester 4, Plymouth 1. As we go into the 5th, it's going to be Shively, Denny, and Sauer for Plymouth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Wow. All right, welcome back here with top of the fifth. We're getting ready to go. It's going to be Ben Shively leading off for Plymouth. We have a pitching change for Rochester. Number 7, Carson Pollock, is going to take the mound for Rochester, trying to close this one out with 2 innings left, leading 4-1. Just going through the warm-ups here as we get ready to go on the 5th inning. Shively singled his first time up in the 2nd. Denny is going to follow him. He had a single, and then Sauer struck out. So we'll see. The Plymouth team has done a good job holding Rochester scoreless over the last 2 innings after they gave up 2 each of the first 2 innings. But Rochester has held Plymouth off of the board except for 1 run scored in the 2nd. Shively in the left-handed batter's box right on top of the plate here as we start the inning. And he's going to get one sent just foul off of the third base line. So Shively being aggressive here to start the inning. Right up on the plate here as we get going in the 5th. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. So the 0-2 pitch coming up here. Misses high on that one for ball 1. Pollock is the number 1 pitcher here for Rochester, and he has 2 innings left that he can pitch. So they brought him in here in the 5th and hopefully the 6th. Misses on that one inside, evens the count now at 2-2. Hard throwing right-hander here for Rochester on the mound. Going up against the left-handed hitting Shively for Plymouth. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, gets the strikeout for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 23, Maddox Denny. Denny reached on an error in the 2nd. Another left-handed hitting batter here for Plymouth. And Pollock misses outside. For ball 1. Ball 2 to the outside. Ashton Musselman has moved to the catching position here in the 5th. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Count now at 2-1 to Denny. This is outside, ball 3. Swing and a miss on the outside fastball. Brings the count to full. 3-2. Denny couldn't lay off of that one. That one was off of the outside corner of the plate. Payoff pitch misses inside.
Denny walks.
Denny takes the walk, bringing up the left fielder, number 2, Aiden Sauer.
Aiden Sauer.
Sauer struck out his only plate appearance in the second. Comes to the plate with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Strike 1, gets past the catcher, and that's going to move Denny down to second. No balls and 1 strike now to Sauer. Pollock delivers. That one was low. Denny moves over to third on that play. So Plymouth has 1 at third with 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sauer takes inside for ball 2. That's got to put a little bit of fear in your eyes when you see that ball coming in that hard, that fast, that close to you. Pollock is throwing hard for a 10U player. Strike 2, count goes even now at 2-2 to Sauer. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on third for Plymouth. And Sauer takes strike 3 looking. That's going to bring up number 6, Aiden Sampson, the extra hitter. So 2 outs now as Sampson takes the plate with 1 runner on for Plymouth. Takes strike 1, runner thinks about it and turns around and goes back. Great job there by Musselman getting on that ball quickly and preventing the run. The 0-1 pitch, swing low, and it strike 2 for Sampson. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. Foul ball. That was a save myself swing right there. That ball was coming right at him. And he made contact with it, but it hit him as well. So they're going to take a look at Sampson. We're going to take a quick break as we get the injured player. Be right back.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout North Central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank, online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here. Aiden Sampson looks like he's able to shake off that ball that he took. Hit him in the upper body. I didn't see quite where he took it. Foul tipped and then hit him off of himself. So he's going to step back into the box here with 2 strikes on him, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Swings on an outside pitch. Goes down swinging for the 3rd out. So 1 walk, 3 strikeouts by Pollock. No hits, no errors, and after 4.5, Rochester leads 4-1. We're going to take a break, come back. It's going to be leadoff hitter Bowers, followed by Coleman and Parks for Plymouth, or for Rochester.
we move into the bottom half of the fifth. We'll be back here on rtc4.com in just a moment.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Shepherd's Chevrolet Buick in Rochester treats you like family. Shepherd's offers a wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles to fit your budget. Stop out for your test drive today, online at shepherdsrochester.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, here we go. Getting set to go with the bottom half of the fifth inning. Metzger remains on the mound for Plymouth. Score remains 4-1, as it has here for 2.5 innings. So Plymouth had 0 hits in the last 3 innings here. Have 3 hits on the night, 1 run across. So as we move into the bottom half of the fifth, it's the leadoff hitter Wade Bowers. And he is up for the 3rd time here tonight. Singled and then was out. Or singled in the first, out in the second. So we're moving over now to the bottom half of the fifth. Plymouth has 1 more opportunity. They got to get Rochester out, and then they got 3 outs to go in the top half of the 6th if they want to make a comeback here and tie up or take the lead here in this game. Rochester wins this game. They are the champions of the 2018 District 1 10U Town and Country Championship. Appreciate everybody for joining us tonight on our coverage. Continuing coverage, game number 15 of the 10U Championships. So here we go, ready to go with Bowers in the right-handed box. Metzger delivers pitch and misses on the inside for ball 1. The 1-0 here to Bowers. Misses low and outside for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch here to Bowers from Metzger. And that one misses on the inside. Count goes to 3-0. Metzger in his 2nd inning of relief pitching took over for the starter Avery Rivera. Allowed 2 hits, no runs in his 1st inning of action. Issues the leadoff walk, puts Bowers on, bringing up the 2nd baseman, number 23, Brady Coleman, with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Coleman gets some instructions there on the 3rd base line by Coach Musselman. And we're all set to go here.
Front of the box, Brady.
Coleman steps into the right-handed batter's box.
Wait on him.
Metzger misses ball 1 low. Bowers looked to go to second, but a nice throw down to the 2nd baseman, the shortstop from Feast. And Bowers turned around and went back to first. So 1 ball, no strikes on Coleman. There's a shot past the 3rd baseman into left field, and the left fielder misplays the ball. Coleman moves over to third. Or Bowers moves over to third, and Coleman is in standing up at second.
Coleman singles to left field. Both runners advance to second and third on an air. Nobody out in the inning. Brings up number 11, the shortstop.
So with that, that's going to bring up the shortstop, number 11, Zach Parks, with no outs and runners on second and third here in the bottom half of the fifth. Pass ball to play, and they got him. Great job there by Feast. Hustles back and gets the tag out on Bowers at the plate.
Bowers is tagged out, stealing home for the first out.
That does move Coleman over to third. So Parks at the plate with 1 on and 1 out. 1 ball, no strike. Swing and a miss for strike 1. One pitch misses on the outside corner. So 2 balls, 1 strike now to Parks. Brady Coleman on third for Rochester with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dexter looks in the 2-1 pitch. And there's a shot past the pitcher into center field. That's going to score Coleman. And Parks is going to stand up on first with a single and the RBI. That'll bring up number 7, Carson Pollock, who is now pitching for Rochester with 1 out. Rochester now with 5 runs. Pollock takes ball 1 high. Rochester with their biggest lead of the night, 4-run lead 5-1. Shot, almost a great play there by the second baseman, can't get it. Goes out into shallow right. Throwing, great hustle there by the third baseman. The throw was high, and the runner So Pollock is on second. They're going to get a pinch runner for the courtesy runner, I guess, for the pitcher.
Number 8, Ethan Jackson is pinch running.
It's going to be number 8, Ethan Jackson. And we've got a discussion here. All right. I don't know what that discussion was.
Hey, we're doing a pinch runner, not a courtesy runner, correct? Yep. It's a pinch runner, not
Pinch.
a courtesy.
It is a pinch runner.
So 8 has entered the game for 7.
So he's out?
They can re-enter.
They can re-enter him. Okay, okay. All right. So the
I would assume 7's going to re-enter the pitch.
yeah, so it's a pinch runner. So
Extra players on the
Pollock goes out, but he can re-enter.
Pitching change for Plymouth.
And we're going to have a pitching change for Plymouth.
14, Parker Bagley.
It's going to be number 14, Parker Bagley. So we're going to take a break while they warm up, and we'll be back. It's the bottom of the 5th. Rochester leads 5-1 with 1 out and runners at second and third. We'll be back here in just a moment.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Blue Dragon Taekwondo. Whether you want to learn self-defense, physical cross-training, or looking to compete in national tournaments, Blue Dragon Taekwondo is the area's leading martial arts authority. Online at tkdbluedragon.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. We got a pitch and change. It's going to be number 14, Parker Bagley, taking over the 3rd pitcher of the game now for Plymouth. And he's just finishing his warm-ups. Rochester with runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And it's going to be Connor Dunphy at the plate for Rochester. He's singled twice in the 1st and 3rd innings, so 2 for 2 for Dunphy. So we'll see if he can make it 3 for 3. Rochester trying to build on a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. So Bagley just finishing up his warm-ups here, and we're going to resume play here shortly. We are in the championship game of the District 1 Town and Country 10U Championships. Rochester right now holding a 5-1 lead. If they can hold on to win this, they will be the champions of the District 1 Town and Country League. And we're going to take a break after tonight, a short one. We got one night off, and then we'll be back here on Wednesday. And we're going to start coverage of the 12U championships. That's going to run 12U semi-state. Okay, so that'll run through Monday. And 10 teams, I believe, in that. Does that sound right? I thought they said there was 10.
Yeah.
So it should be a great week of action here and some 12U. Semi-state action. So we'll be back on the air. We also got coverage all week long from the Fulton County Fair just down the road from where we're at now. So we've got a lot going on here for the next couple of now week, I guess. All right, so we're getting set to go. Dunphy takes the right-handed batter's box. Bagley delivers and gets strike 1. See what Bagley can do. Comes into a little bit of a pressure situation, trailing by 4 runs with 1 out and 2 on. Big right-hander for Plymouth, delivers, misses on the outside corner for ball 1. Count 1-1 now. One pitch by Bagley, and there's a shot down to 3rd. Runner's going to score, but they get the out. So RBI for Dunphy. And 1 run across. Rochester now leads 6-1. And that'll bring up Parker Casper with 2 outs and 1 on. Bagley misses high and inside. Casper grounded out in the, well, he didn't ground out, but he got put out on the fielder's choice in the 1st, and then he popped out to 2nd in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Count now even at 1-1. That one misses outside for ball 2 on Casper. Two balls and 1 strike now for Parker Casper. Bagley trying to get out of the inning here. Has 2 outs. Big swing. Casper misses on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rochester leading 6-1 here in the bottom half of the 5th.
Keep your front shoulder in.
And pops it up, and that's going to be an out by the pitcher. And that's going to do it. 1 run across for Rochester, and after 6, Rochester leads 6-1. So Plymouth has got to get 5, or their championship hopes are going to die out. It's going to be Daly, Manzuk, and Feast as we enter the top of the 6th. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching RTC4.com's coverage of the Town & Country 10U Championship.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. RTC Fiber Communications. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
All right, welcome back. We're getting set here in the top of the 6th inning. Rochester actually played at 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th to lead 6-1. So Carson Pollock re-enters the game and is back on the mound for Rochester, trying to close it out here. Got 3 outs, Plymouth does, to try and make up 5 runs to keep this thing going.
Off for the Pilgrims, number 48, Ethan Daly.
All right, so the number 11 hitter, number 48, Ethan Daly, is going to lead off. He walked his only plate appearance in the 3rd and takes ball 1 low and outside. Plymouth has a long row to hoe to try and get back into this one. And Daly takes strike 1. Big swing and a miss, and strike 2 for Daly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Rochester leading 6-1. Pollock just a little low on that one. Count goes even at 2-2. 2-2 pitch by Pollock. And Daly gets a little bit of piece of that, goes foul off of the first base line, keeping it alive here with the 2-2 count. 2-2 pitch. Gets him looking for the strikeout for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, the leadoff hitter, number 28, Nick Manzuk. Manzuk has struck out twice here in the game. Swing and a miss, strike one. The 0-1 pitch from Pollock, just a little bit outside, evens the count at 1-1. Two balls now, one strike. There's a shot just foul off the third base line. It's going to bring the count even to 2-2 for Manzuk. Pollock looking for the second out here in the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Strike 3 looking. Plymouth down to their last out. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 15, Drake Feast. Feast singled his first time up, popped out to center field in the third. Foul off of the fence for strike 1. Plymouth down to their last out here. Takes ball 1 high. Just a bit inside.
You're all right, Carson. Reach out in front.
It's going to be 2 balls and 1 strike. Pollock trying to close this one out with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Plymouth down to their last strike. Trailing 6-1. Rochester can taste it here. And he hits it to short. Play over to first, not in time, and Feast reaches. Good hustle play there by Feast, and that's going to bring up Rivera.
Hey, nothing hurt.
So Plymouth stays alive.
Brings up the batter, number 44, Avery Rivera.
Rivera grounded out to the first baseman his first time up, popped out to center his second, and he fouled that off of his knee. Ooh, that one hurt. Ends up in fair territory, but it went off his knee, so that's a foul ball for strike 1. A painful strike at that. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 on. Feast will take second on the pass ball.
Feast is second on a pass ball.
Rivera, 1-1 count here with 2 outs, trying to stay alive, keep Plymouth going. And there's a shot, gets into center. Feast is going to round third. They're going to send him. And Rivera is up into second, standing up, so Plymouth able to play to run. So Plymouth stays alive a little bit longer. That's going to bring up the pitcher, number 14, Parker Bagley. So Plymouth able to get a run across for the first time since the second inning. Cuts the lead down to 4. Bagley at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at second. So Plymouth hanging on by a thread right here, trying to find a way to get 4 more runs across and keep this game going. Behind the 8 ball with 2 outs right now. Bagley at the plate. Takes ball 1 low. Good eye that time by Bagley, holding off of the low fastball. Gets a shot over to short, and the throw is off. And Rivera is going to get over to third.
Bagley reaches on there. Puts runners on first and third.
So Bagley reaches.
Brings up number 21, Grady Metzger.
Now we have runners at the corners, first and third for Grady Metzger.
Hey, Brady covering 2.
Metzger 1 for 2 on the day. Fouls that one back off of the fence for strike 1. Plymouth not going down quietly. They've gotten 1 run across with 2 outs. Now they have 2 on with Grady Metzger at the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Once again down to their last strike.
Brady, cover 2.
Takes ball 1 inside. Good eye that time by Metzger. Laying off the inside pitch. One ball, 2 strikes. And they get him looking for strike 3. And that is your ball game, folks. Rochester wins by a score of 6-2. They are your 2018 Town and Country 10U champions. We're going to keep it here and let you guys enjoy all of the post-game festivities here for a moment.
Ceremony in approximately 10 minutes. Good game, both teams.
I'll see what we got.
Hey, Dad.
Brady.
Hey, Dad. Dad.
Well, that's all you can have is 12 players.
Dad.
Well, yeah, there's a couple. I'll get it.
like to take this opportunity to thank many, many people that make a tournament like this happen on one weekend. Concession stand, press box, coaches, volunteers, field support staff, parents. I would try to name names, I'd leave somebody off, so I'm going to try to just thank everybody. Without the volunteers, this would not happen. We appreciate everybody's support. Thank you.
Hey, Dad. How long till we hand out trophies?
Would like to congratulate the runners-up, the Plymouth Pilgrims, on a fantastic tournament. We've got trophies for the Plymouth kids. We will start with their leadoff hitter, number 28, Nick Manzik. Followed by number 15, Drake Beast. Number 44, Avery Rivera. Number 14, Parker Bagler. Number 21, Grady Metzger. Number 10, Aiden Landis. Number 27, Ben Shively. Number 23, Maddox Spinney. Number 2, Aiden Sauer. Number 48, Ethan Daly. Yeah. Number 6, Aiden Sampson. And I know we have a player out here, number 3, Parker Wolf. Kid want to come forward and get his trophy. Plymouth is coached by Jason Pease, Jordan Sauer, Clint Denny, Ryan Wolf. Good luck in semi-state. Thank you. And now, for your champion of the 10 and under District 1 Town and Country League, Rochester Zebras. Number 2, Wade Bowers. Number 23, Brady Coleman. Number 11, Zach Parks. Number 7, Carson Pollock. Dunphy. Number 12, Parker Casper. Number 18, Galen Beverda. Number 3, Ashton Musselman. Number 40, Ashton Eaton. Number 20, Brady Gamble. Number 8, Ethan Jackson. Number 79, Andre Meiser. Rochester is coached by Phil Bauer, Sean Spence, David Musselman. Coaches, come get your championship plaque. Again, your 2018 District 110 under champions, Rochester.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here this evening. Rochester wins your 2018 10U Town and Country Championships. They're going to move on to semi-state action next week. So good luck to them. Plymouth will move on as well. So best of luck to all of the players as they move on to the semi-state round. And we're going to come back on Wednesday, and we're going to be covering the 12U semi-state here at Rochester. We're going to be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with more coverage of 12U baseball starting here in one day. So we're going to take a day off. So get your rest, Dakota, and we'll come back ready to go. I saw the schedule. I think Scott has me down for like 10 games over that time frame. So twice as many as I got to do this week. So Rochester is your winner over Plymouth by a final score of 6-2. We're going to wrap it up. That's our final coverage of this week's game number 15 for us. So we're going to say goodnight here from Rochester. You can tune in to rtc4.com or Channel 4 here in Rochester and watch coverage from the Fulton County Fair all week long with Libby Wujcik over there covering all the stuff going on at the fair. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. For Dakota Hayden, I'm Steve Stricker. Good night from Rochester.